this morning. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano via @Caught Offside. Personal terms with Manchester United and Frankie de Jong haven't been discussed yet because the player would like to stay at Barcelona and play in the Champions League. United have been aware of this for quite some time. So, read that back. I mean, the important bit is United have been aware of this for quite some time, that he doesn't want to come, that he wants to stay at Barcelona. Now, we have been aware about this for some time. I agree with that. And, there's no skirting the issue with that. We have been aware of that for a very long time. And Fabrizio goes on to say that Erik ten Hag will try in every way possible to change Frankie de Jong's mind in the coming days. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. This is not from Spain or various Barcelona outlets that we don't really know that well, and maybe there's some sort of political angle on it. This is coming in from Fabrizio Romano. This is cold, harsh facts that Frankie de Jong doesn't want to come to Manchester United. Now, we're going to talk about Ronaldo and this Chelsea bid in a minute and whether we should take it. But this is like, any hope Ronaldo could stay. We'll talk about that in a minute, Donick. But this is coming in from Fabrizio Romano that Frankie de Jong doesn't want to come to Manchester United. He wants to stay in Spain. To which I would say this. I'm a little bit confused about the media and some of our fan base. Because every day for the last 3 days, I've heard, if Ronaldo doesn't want to be here, I don't care if he's our best player, the best leader in the dressing room, and our player of the year. I don't care about any of that. If he doesn't want to be here because we're not ambitious, get out of my club. It's like bloody Peggy Mitchell in EastEnders. Get out of my pub. And I'm like, well, I don't agree with that. I don't. I think some people don't either. He's our best player. I agree with him not being happy about the ambition, and I agree with him wanting to leave. But some of our fans are like, oh, get out of my pub. Get out of my club. If you don't want to be here because we're not ambitious, get out of my club, right? Which is fine, that's an opinion. So on the one hand, you've got United fans passionately saying, I want Ronaldo to leave. I don't really understand that, but fine. You've got some of them saying, well, it's the club backing Ten Hag. Ten Hag wants to keep Ronaldo, by the way, but by the by. So you've got some United fans and the media saying, get rid of Ronaldo, he doesn't want to be here, it's really disrespectful and all this. On the other hand, they're refreshing their timeline on Twitter every 5 seconds to see if de Jong's coming, who doesn't want to be here and doesn't rate our ambition. So make that make sense to me. There are literally fans saying, get out Ronaldo because you don't want to be here, but when are we going to sign de Jong, who doesn't want to be here? It's like, can you see where I'm coming from with that? We actually have got people who want to kick out our player of the year and want him out of the club because he doesn't want to be here, but welcome Frankie de Jong, who doesn't want to be here. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. My personal stance is I want them both to be here. And people will go, what? Well, no, I want Ronaldo to be here because I know he'll score 20 goals next season and I know he'll give everything because he's a professional. We've just got to get him to stay. So I want Ronaldo to stay even though he doesn't want to stay. I want de Jong to come even though he doesn't want to come because I know Erik ten Hag wants him. And I think the managers should be given what they want. So, but what I don't get is people who want de Jong but say get lost Ronaldo, because basically neither of them want to be here at the moment. So, make that make sense. But that really worries me. Erik ten, it worries me that it's from Fabrizio, because Fabrizio, I mean, some would say Fabrizio's become very careful over the last year because he's got so much exposure now that he can't afford to be wrong on things. So when he does say things, especially about United, like in the next few minutes, Malacia is going to be officially announced, and it happens. And when he says that Frankie de Jong doesn't want to be at Man United and Erik ten Hag's got to persuade him, this is not what I know. This is not what I've been told. I've always been told. And look, I don't agree with him about the personal terms. Official personal terms are something very different to sit down and do. The reality is United have been in talks, and we've heard this before. Ten Hag and Frankie de Jong and the agent have been in conversation for a long time. They haven't signed off on personal terms. I agree with Romano on that, but there's a loose agreement about what he's going to get in wages, which is north of 300 grand a week, and signing on fee. So that I'm not worried about. But what I am worried about is Erik ten Hag having to persuade him. I mean, 2 months chasing a player that still doesn't want to come just sounds very odd. He doesn't want to be here. Let's get Lamer and everything like that. I agree with you. Personally, I agree with you. But who's the manager of Manchester United? It's Erik ten Hag. The last thing I want is a manager to be able to sit there next season with Neves and go, I wanted Frankie de Jong. You have to get Frankie de Jong because it's what Erik ten Hag wants. Do I agree with it? It depends what his bloody mindset is, really. I mean, if he adamantly doesn't want to come, I just think psychologically he's not going to be happy. I mean, we can all say, go and get me that Ferrari from the Ferrari dealership because it looks absolutely brilliant. But somebody might be telling you do realise it's a bit of a dodgy Ferrari. You know, it's got a dodgy engine in it. I don't care. I really want it. And then when it doesn't perform, you've been warned. I feel a little bit like that about Frankie de Jong. What a great player he is. But if his mindset's not right, as we've seen with many players over the years, many of them talk about confidence and mindset. I mean, that's the risk. But obviously Eric backs himself that this is the right player, so you've got to do it. What you make of stories saying Barca due Frankie 17 million in wages, why would he stay at a club that can't pay him, says Dazu. I mean, like, look, Dazu, you make a great point. I think the Glazers are destroying our club, says Ivan. I think you make a great point. I still believe that we'll get de Jong. What I'm saying is, you've got some fans saying kick Ronaldo out because he doesn't want to be here. Remember, Ronaldo doesn't want to be here because we're not ambitious, by the way. So some people are saying kick Ronaldo out because he doesn't want to be here. But then on the other hand, they're saying get Frankie de Jong, who doesn't want to be here. That's my issue. It's like it's the hypocrisy of saying get rid of Ronaldo but bring Frankie in when neither of them want to be here at the moment. So you shouldn't. I mean, basically, if you're being logical, if you want Ronaldo to be sold, you shouldn't want de Jong. And if you want Ronaldo to stay, then maybe you do want de Jong, which is what I want. But the de Jong transfer is... I don't even want to talk about it. I'm only talking about it because that Romano update is quite big, that he still doesn't want to come to United and adamantly wants to stay at Barcelona. I thought we would have thawed that a little bit. He's owed £17 million in wages. Man United will probably bloody pay it, won't they? But I don't know. Apart from what that update is, I really would rather move on because the actual intricacies of de Jong, Man United, look, whether you like it or not, it's not my choice, it's not your choice. Man United and Erik ten Hag have staked everything on Frankie de Jong. This was the decision back in May. They've obviously decided no matter how long it takes, we're going to get this deal done. Our whole summer is fixated on Frankie de Jong. That's what it is. Like it or